guys, Corell Cooper here with On the Black, and I am joined tonight by one of my favorite people that I follow on Twitter, Mets fan Suzanne Vara. Hey, Susan, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. So, hey, it is July 2nd.
Yes.
And the Mets are like, they're in it. I didn't think I didn't think they'd be in it right now. I thought we'd be talking about like last place, who they're going to bring up, who maybe they trade away at the deadline, but it's like all the talk is right now is like who should they trade for? So,
yeah. But I always knew though, a lot of you go so deep into the players and how they play and positions and this. And I was more looking at in the minors, you have men that play well together. And when these guys were coming up, you knew, like New and Heights, there was that chemistry. You knew right away He was going to fit in and bring something. And not everyone fits in and makes it, but at the same time, you could see where they were just there to play a game and not necessarily worry about all the other stuff that comes with the majors.
Yeah. No, I mean it's been a fun year, and I've been blogging since 2008, and this is probably the funnest year I've had to blog so far. Now we got we still got to finish the first half of the season, and then we got a whole second half. So anything that can happen, but it's been fun so far. Mm-hmm. And this year you made your first ever trip to Citi Field, and you brought your son to his first ever game. And, I brought my daughter to her first ever game this year as well, too, and just wanted to hear, from your perspective, what was it like at Citi Field that day? How did your son take it all in? All that good stuff.
Amazing. It was amazing. Okay. There was little flubs with the train. I'm not exactly very well-versed with mass transit. So once we got over that and you get to the field and you come down the stairs off the train, it's just like, wow, there's this amazing building, and see all these people come together for one thing, and you think, oh, this is going to be chaotic. Oh, I'm never going to find where I need to go. It was, first of all, it's in awe of the building, and you're walking up, and you get this feeling as you just, every step that you take, and you just get so excited. You're like, oh, wow, I'm really here. This is really happening. And then once you walk through and you start going up that escalator and you see everything that's around, and you're like, how does all this inside of baseball? What? And then that excitement, and then when you just hit any of the levels and you just see the field, it like sucks you in, and you're like, oh yeah, this is amazing. The stadium is beyond beautiful. I mean, look, I have a love of Shea. And I'll never forget Shea. I still have a hard time calling it Citi. I'll slip sometimes and say, oh, Shea. Oh, no. But if they were going to build something to take the Mets to the next level and into the next, how many, 60 years, this is the greatest place that they built. Yeah, so I can't be upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, it's a great place to watch a ball game. Now, I mean, they've made some improvements over the years that made it kind of feel more like home, the blue walls, the banners, all that stuff. But it is a great place to watch a ball game. And what was your son's reaction?
He had never, he was born and raised in Vegas for all of his 7. He was actually 6 when we moved. So he'd never understood a professional team. He only saw it on TV.
Yeah.
And he had gone to minor league. We took him to a minor league game, but there's no comparison. So he steps out, and he just stood there for a second and was like, Mom! I was like, yeah. And, of course, he was all about the food, at that age. They're going to be all about the food. But just such an amazing thing for him to be able to see and be at this amazing place for the first time. He's never been to a professional game ever. So he just watching him take it all in, and the questions were amazing that he was asking. And then the way they run the games, where they get the crowd involved, it's not overburdensome, it's not over the top, it's not too much.
Right.
Just that enough where he was so entertained. Yes, he knew what game was going on, but being in the crowd, he really was feeling everything of that people who go all the time. He had that such a high comfort level that he was cheering, and he just had the greatest time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Has he asked you to take him back yet?
He asked me to take him, as a matter of fact, and he was right, no hands, no hitter. He said, Mommy, can we please go to the game? And I said, no, sweetie, you have football practice. He was in a spring football league. I said, no, sweetie, you have football. We can't not. This is your team. We have responsibilities. But, Mom, I just want to go. And he was hemming and hawing in the car. He's like, the train station's right there. Come on, Mommy. We'll do it right this time. I just said, no, sweetie, we can't. So the next morning, of course, I tell him what had happened, and he looks at me with this smug look. I told you we should have gone, Mom. I said, Andrew, you were right. I'm sorry. But, yeah, he wants to go every single home game.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And he's more into football, so you could imagine just that impact that baseball had.
Yeah.
Going to one game, how much he continue wants to go back.
Yeah. Now I know we disagree on football. You're raising him as a Jets fan, I'm imagining.
We're going to convert you, I promise. Because when they're doing the Super Bowl here in 2014,
yep.
You're going to be in it to win it. I tell you, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, hey, I hope that both of our teams make it to the Super Bowl that year.
No. It's going to be mine.
That would be fun. Well, what else, like, in terms of what the Mets are doing this year with the 50th anniversary, they did Banner Day, they're doing a bunch of, like, bobblehead series, they're having old-timers come back. I mean, from your perspective, are you enjoying like what the Mets are doing to celebrate the 50th anniversary?
Absolutely. I love the fact that the fans are involved. They're giving the giveaways. Tuesdays is one of the Mets nights.
Yeah, T-shirt Tuesday or something like that.
T-shirt Tuesday, yeah. So I love that part of how they're really trying to pull everyone in and keep the excitement going because, look, whoever would have thought last year we would have grand slams. Really? One hitters.
Yeah.
Two of them.
Yeah.
No hitter.
Yeah.
How many shutouts? Nobody ever would have thought. So instead of going so far over the top and taking it, they have this planned, obviously. So they haven't changed it, and I appreciate that because you're saying we're going to stay on track with what we're doing. Of course they had the no hand shirts and, that stuff, and that should be expected, but,
right.
They're really, whether we were losing every game or winning every game, they're continuously keeping the fans and getting people there because ultimately you need the fans to be at the games.
Right. No, I definitely agree, and like I said, for me, it's been one of my favorite year, my favorite year of blogging, and it's been a good first half of the season so far, and
right.
So I just hope, hopefully, at the end of the day, they just continue to play well and push towards the playoffs. That's the hope. So.
Yeah, and that would be amazing, and I know everyone's really upset about David Wright not getting the starting role and how, the voting process is, there I really believe more could have been done, using that hashtag, the organization could have said, hey, did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote? There's so much there could have been done more, but at the same time, you have to look at it this way. If he was starting and he got hurt, we'd be screaming our heads off.
Yeah, it's a tough situation there. I don't know. I've got my own kind of thoughts about that. I don't know if I agree with the fans getting as much say in the voting process because
I agree.
At the end of the day, I mean, you should pick the players that have had the best first half of the season and not leave it up to the marketing department in the organization pumping out. Being the cheerleader for the player,
That's my marketing background. You got to give me some slack there to try to push that along with saying, hey, Matt, you could have done a little better with this,
Yeah, no, and they did do some things, but I honestly, I was shocked that he got caught, too. I mean, he had such a big lead. I was shocked that he got caught.
It was amazing when I had seen because you guys had, keep me in the loop, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I just expected it as, that it was just gonna be who else.
Yeah.
and I don't believe in necessarily popularity contests. And, you know, yes, it's great that you can vote. And of course I voted, and we know you voted, and so many voted. But then sometimes if somebody else, if another team is doing that push, then in order to stay competitive, you have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, of course, you know, next year with the All-Star game being at Citi, that's a little different, you know. I mean, who's going to be stepping up there to make sure that we have enough of a presence? It's in your own house.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes next year. I guess the only thing I'm looking forward to is I hope Dickey is the National League starter and he pitches well. And you know what? Let David Wright come off the bench and maybe he'll win like the All-Star Game MVP. And then we'll all be happy.
Exactly, you know? I mean, there's just so many, and it's so interesting because so much is made so little of this game, but yet so much is made so big of this game.
Yeah.
It's like that bragging rights of, you know, the Subway Series, you know, that we have here and they also have in Chicago, and it's just amazing how little this game means, but then when you read the fanfare, it means so much.
Yep.
And I think Major League Baseball should embrace that a little bit more and listen to people like yourself and say, well, maybe it shouldn't only be the fans. Maybe there should be a little bit more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Well, hey, Susan, thank you for joining me. And again, like I said, you are one of my favorite people to follow on Twitter. I love talking to you and chatting with you during the game. So, you know, it's been a great first half, and hopefully the Mets will continue in the second half.
Let's do this again. Make sure, you know, that we keep winning and stay on that streak. And please don't ever stop saying my favorite thing that you say. Can I help you? Nope, just looking.
There it is.
That is my favorite. I wait for it. And, you know, coming back to New Jersey after 12 years and being able to flip the TV on and see a game and be able to take a train and be able to go, and, you know, it's just such an amazing experience, you know, and having people like yourself and everybody that is so involved and just loves this team so much, it makes it that much better. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more, especially me coming back this year.
Yeah. So. True. Well, thanks, Susan. I appreciate you joining me.
I will talk to you later.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.